On Saturday night against the Denver Broncos, Jared Goff had one simple question to say to all the SOL fans and the Goff critics. How do you like me now? We're going to talk about it in today's episode, folks, so please stay tuned.
We used to be a team no one respected. We used to be a team no one feared. That was then. This is now.
First victory of the year on the line. Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, end zone. Yes! Caught!
You know who we are.
10-5, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions.
And you know where to find us. We won't be far. We'll be on your front porch waiting for you. We are the New Era Lions. And
we are driven by Detroit.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and as always, we're diving in right now. But before we dive in, I just want to say to those that are my loyal subscribers and those who keep coming back to me, thank you all for coming back. Thank you all for your view, your support, your patience. Thank you all for everything that you do. It absolutely means the world to me. And to those that are tuning into my show for the very first time, I just want to say thank you all for giving my show a shot. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the content, and likewise, I hope to gain your subscription if I've earned and deserved it. And without further ado, I just want to say to everybody, God bless. I hope you're having a great day. Let's dive into the show. So, here's the thing, folks. If y'all haven't gathered by my expression, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty jovial. I'm just all over the place. I'm having a great recording for this one because I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Everybody knows that I'm a Goff fan. Everybody knows that I'm a Goff defender. But here's the thing about this whole situation that for me just absolutely just makes me feel absolutely exuberant. And the reason why is because you have to think about this here, folks. Like, truly think about this. If you think about it here, for the better part of a month, so for 4 weeks, you think about it here, SOL fans, Goff haters, Goff critics, the Woodward heavyweights, anybody who just does not like Goff on pure principle, has been tearing him down, ridiculing him for just literally nonstop. Because think about it, almost every person for the last month has been going after Jared Goff for something. Oh, he can't throw the ball deep, he throws an ugly pass, he's a turnover machine, he can't win, blah, blah. Heard it all, seen it all, read it all. Just going to put that out there. Doesn't matter if it's easy from Woodward Sports. Doesn't matter if it's 97.1 The Ticket. Doesn't matter if it's fans on freaking Facebook, on Twitter. Does not matter. I've seen it, read it, heard it all. But here's where it gets even worse, is that after that game we had against the Chicago Bears last Sunday, that whole week virtually, you could literally not tune into almost any show. You could not freaking turn on social media on any place and not hear people continue to just take after Goff like he was just trash. Because everybody was like, Goff is a bum, he's a trash quarterback, he's reverting back to what he was in LA, we need to get Hooker in there right now, or we need to make sure Hooker starts next year by getting rid of Jared Goff. I'm telling you, I heard it all, I saw it all. And again, that was damn near everywhere on social media. Again, I saw it on TikTok. I saw it on freaking Twitter. I saw it on Facebook. Woodward heavyweights were having a damn field day with it. Everybody was just like, get rid of Jared Goff. We've had enough. And I said it in a previous episode where I was talking about Jared Goff. I'll put that episode back up at the top here. But when I remember hearing that, I just kept thinking the same thing to myself. You want to get rid of a quarterback that's had 3 bad games in 4 weeks, because I don't care what anyone says about the New Orleans Saints game. That was a good game by Jared Goff, because without Jared Goff, we don't win that game, because those 2 third-down conversions in the fourth quarter were crucial, and Jared Goff was the primary reason for those, plus on top of the fact that Jared Goff threw 2 touchdowns in that game, which was pretty crucial to us winning the game. But I digress. The point is, 3 bad games in 4 weeks. There were SOL fans and Goff haters that wanted to throw all that away, despite the fact that 31 games prior to that, Jared Goff had been completely playing at a level that we had almost never seen out of a Lions quarterback over a period of 2 years. Think about that. Goff had a passer rating over 100, had thrown 8,000 yards, had 55 touchdowns almost to only 14 interceptions, and was throwing at a 68% completion rate over the previous 31 games prior to those last 4 games that I'm talking about. And they still wanted to get rid of him. But yet, this is the part about this whole situation that makes me just absolutely just be gleaming and beaming with just absolute just joy. In 4 quarters, despite the last 4 weeks, in 4 quarters on Saturday's game against the Broncos, Jared Goff literally looked at every single one of those critics, the Goff haters, the SOL critics, or the SOL fans, Easy, 97.1 the ticket, everybody that wanted to say anything negative about him, and he just literally went like, shush. Think about this, folks. Think about this truly. In those 4 quarters, Jared Goff literally exploded against the Denver Broncos. Again, think about this. He was 24 of 34 for 70.6 completion percentage rate, almost 300 yards, 278 to be exact, 8.2 an average a throw, 5 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 134.6 passer rating with a 76.4 QBR. That right there is about as damn good of a game that a quarterback could possibly have without it being a perfect game. Literally, almost as good as it could possibly get. Think about this, folks. Those 5 passing touchdowns that Jared Goff had tied a personal best that he had back when he was with the Rams, but it also tied a Detroit Lions passing record because up until that game, the last quarterback that had thrown 5 passing touchdowns in a game was Jared Goff's predecessor, which was Matthew Stafford. And if I recall correctly, it was on 11/26/2015 was the last time that Matthew Stafford threw 5 passing touchdowns. So 2015 to 2023 had been 8 years since a Lions quarterback had thrown 5 touchdowns in a game. That's a pretty impressive accomplishment, if I do dare say so myself. But think about this too. Jared Goff's 134.6 passer rating game was his best passer rating performance of 2023 and the second best of his Detroit Lions career. Yes, that's actually a surprise to me too because I actually had to go back. The best passer rating performance that Jared Goff ever had, and also likewise his best QBR performance he ever had, was in 2021 when we played against the Cardinals. He was damn near flawless in that game. Go back and check the stats. I had to do that. That was actually really interesting for me. But then finally, think about this. That 134.6 passer rating that I'm talking about with Jared Goff, that was his 7th 100-plus passer rating game of 2023. We've played 14 games on the year. That means half of his games he has thrown a 100-plus passer rating or more. That's pretty damn impressive for a Detroit Lions quarterback, number one. Also, number two, that 76.4 QBR rating that he has, that's his 670th QBR game that's been handed out by ESPN. So again, almost half of his games, he has had a 70-plus QBR rating in those games. And again, if you take a look at ESPN, if you get a 65 or higher usually for a QBR, you're doing pretty damn good. If you get a 70 or higher, you're doing really good. And you get anything higher than an 80, you damn near had a perfect game. So the fact that Jared Goff has 6 70-plus QBR rating games in 2023, plus 7 100-plus passer rating games, that's pretty damn impressive. But think about that, and then chew on this as well while you're thinking on it. In that game against the Denver Broncos, Jared Goff completed a pass to 8 different receivers. One of the things that I've heard about Jared Goff is that people say he likes to just focus on one receiver or 2 receivers, and usually it's either Sam Laporta or St. Brown. But think about that. 8 different receivers caught passes. Gibbs caught a pass. Montgomery caught a pass. Laporta caught passes. J-Mo caught passes. Josh Reynolds caught passes. Khalif Raymond caught passes. They all caught passes. Hell, even one got caught by Donovan Peoples-Jones. Goff was spreading the ball all over the field, so you couldn't say Jared Goff was just focusing on one damn receiver. Number 2, to kind of keep with that thought process, everyone keeps saying that Jared Goff doesn't like throwing the ball to J-Mo. But think about this. In that game against the Broncos, Goff targeted Jameson Williams 7 times with 4 catches that resulted in almost 50 yards. So again, J-Mo is getting more and more production from Jared Goff. He's gaining more and more trust. Just like Jared Goff said at the end of the game, he's like, listen, I trust J-Mo. We're just continuing to build what we already have. So again, it's going to keep getting better. Then think about this too. Like I said, Goff had 5 passing touchdowns in that game. 4 of those touchdowns came from his rookies. 3 from Sam Laporta, 1 from Jahmyr Gibbs, pardon me. So again, Goff is getting everybody involved. And that was against one of the best defenses that have been playing in the NFL over the last 10 weeks. But I'll get to that in a minute. Then think about this. Like I said, Goff had thrown to 8 different receivers, right? But think about this. Every wide receiver, not running backs, I'm talking about the wide receivers and tight ends. Every single one of them had an average catch, so like average reception of 11 yards or more. So not only does it show that Goff was spreading the ball around, but that he had great accuracy. Because how do you usually get those high averages off of receptions? It's by having great accuracy to allow the wide receivers to get yards after the catch. That's what Jared Goff was doing. So again, you can't say Jared Goff wasn't accurate, that his ball placement wasn't on point, because that was what he was doing. He was making the job of the wide receiver very easy. And then finally, before we move on to our next point here, Jared Goff is the first quarterback since 2014 for the Detroit Lions to get a 10-win season. Obviously, the last quarterback to do that before Jared Goff was Matthew Stafford. But again, that whole performance on Saturday against the Broncos, that right there showed how damn important, how crucial Jared Goff is to this Lions program, to this team. So for those that thought that, we should get rid of Jared Goff because Hendon Hooker can do better, I'd like to see Hendon Hooker put up stats like that. Just FYI. But again, let's keep going down this gravy train because, like I said, I'm in a really jovial mood. Really jovial mood. Think about this, folks. Not only did Jared Goff just do that and all that stuff I talked about, like I said, he did that against one of the best defenses in the NFL since week 6. Again, I talked about this in a previous episode. I'll put the link to that episode back up at the top, but just think about this. Since week 6, the Denver Broncos were second in points allowed per game to opposing offenses, second in passing touchdowns allowed to offenses per game with 1.5, 6th in passer rating giving up to opposing quarterbacks with a 77 even, and 8th in completion percentage given up with a 60.5%. And Jared Goff took a look at all that and was just like, yeah, so what? Literally just completely blew all those numbers completely out of the water. Pretty much just made all that stuff look like cannon fodder. And then you have to think about this as well to kind of add even further impressiveness to what Jared Goff did along with the rest of the offense. But again, we're talking about Jared Goff here. The offense itself did a great job. I'm not going to take anything away from the offensive line because the offensive line protected Jared Goff ridiculously well. Probably the best game that offensive line has done protecting Jared Goff. Wide receivers caught damn near everything through their way. And the defense did a great job of helping out the offense from having to continue to play from behind. And then the running game, freaking Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery did a great job. But again, talking about Goff here for the moment. In the last 6 games prior to that one on Saturday night that the Lions and Broncos played, in the previous 6 games prior to that, the Broncos defense had only given up 4 passing touchdowns. Think about that. Had only given up 4 passing touchdowns in 6 games. On the flip side to that, that Broncos defense had garnered 17 turnovers in those previous 6 games. 6 of those 17 turnovers were interceptions. Think about this one, folks. Take a look at 2 of those opponents that the Broncos played in those last 6 games prior to ours on Saturday night. The Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs. You all know the quarterbacks I'm referring to, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. I'm just going to put this out there. Take a look at what Patrick Mahomes did in his game against the Denver Broncos. Horrible. Probably one of the worst games that Patrick Mahomes has had in a long time. No touchdowns, under 65 completion percent rate, two interceptions, a below 60 passer rating, and just barely over 50 on the QBR, plus also had 1 fumble lost. That was Patrick Mahomes, which, by the way, resulted in a loss. Then you take a look at Josh Allen, another really top 10 quarterback in the league as well. Josh Allen was even worse, had less than 60 completion percentage rate. Now granted, he had 1 passing touchdown, but under 200 yards passing, 2 interceptions, again, a sub 60 passer rating, and a freaking sub 40 QBR rating also having 1 fumble lost. So between those 2 superstar quarterbacks, they had 6 turnovers. 6. 4 interceptions and 2 fumbles. Yet, again, I'm going to put up Jared Goff's stats right here, but Jared Goff had 5 touchdowns to their 6 turnovers. Jared Goff had no turnovers. So again, who's the better quarterback? I know that Mahomes has been to the Super Bowl quite a bit, and I'm not taking anything away from Mahomes. I'm saying what I'm saying sarcastically here. Again, I know Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL, and I know Josh Allen is no damn slouch either, but it's like, listen, if you're going to keep making the argument that Jared Goff sucks, you better start coming with more than just your mere opinion, because these stats right here make that whole thought process look like freaking dung heap. The point of the matter is, when you take a look at all those stats, you take a look at everything I just talked about here, you're talking about a quarterback that is playing at a top level. Now, yes, I understand he had a whole month where he didn't do very good, save 1 game. But it's like, listen here, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Quarterbacks sometimes go through lulls. They sometimes go through what are considered rough patches. It happens to every quarterback. It's happened to Peyton Manning. It happened to Tom Brady. It happened to Drew Brees. It happened to Phillip Rivers. It happened to Big Ben. It happens. The fact that Jared Goff was in essence made the scapegoat, was pretty much blamed for the Lions' totality of reasons why they were losing, is, as Taylor Decker would say, ridiculous. The fact that he was made into the sacrificial lamb to say, well, he's the reason the Lions are losing, absolutely ludicrous, absolutely ridiculous. Again, take Jared Goff out of that game against the Broncos, we do not win. Take Jared Goff out of the game against the New Orleans Saints, we do not win. Take Jared Goff out of the game against the Chargers, we do not win. Take Jared Goff out of the game against the Buccaneers, we do not win. I don't care what any Goff hater, what any SOL critic wants to say about Jared Goff. We are not anywhere close to the same team without Jared Goff in the lineup. And there is no way that Hendon Hooker is going to play at the level that Jared Goff is playing anytime soon. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, at 10-4, think about this. Prior to this game, the Lions were asked about whether or not they were going to keep Hendon Hooker on the active roster. At 10-4, I don't think that's going to happen. I think, honestly, the Lions are going to refer him back to NFI. And I'm going to tell you why. With C.J. Gardner-Johnson or C.D. Deuce getting ready to come back because he's been medically cleared, plus you're expecting James Houston back, plus there's also the possibility of getting other players back, it's like, listen, Hendon Hooker getting that development is going to have to take a back seat to the Lions' playoff aspirations. And getting players like Houston and C.D. Deuce back, that takes higher priority than freaking Hendon Hooker. And think about that. That's not me talking. That's the Lions organization talking. At that point, they're saying, listen, regardless of what Hendon Hooker is going to potentially do or not do this year, it's more important that we win rather than him getting development. I'm telling you this right now. They might just decide to keep him on the active roster, but I don't think that's likely with the Lions making a push for a division win and a push for a playoff win. I don't think that's going to happen. But we're going to see what happens. All I'm going to say is this. This game that Jared Goff had against the Broncos, one of the best defenses for the last 10 weeks, and after all the crap that had been said about him for the last 4 weeks, this was a big moment where Jared Goff could say, shush. Could literally take the mic and say, drop. Literally, you think I'm that bad? You think I'm that terrible? Let me show you what I can do. Let me show you the numbers I can put up, because that right there, that's a game that only a top 10 quarterback can give you. That right there is a game that only one of the best quarterbacks in the league can give you, especially when you consider the types of performances that we've seen out of Jared Goff the entirety of this year. That is what Goff provides. And no rookie quarterback, no Hendon Hooker is going to provide that anytime soon. Not even comparable. So again, to all my Goff critics, to all of the SOL fans, I'm just going to say the same thing Jared Goff said to y'all. Shush. But anyway, having had my moment, I'm just going to say thank you all for watching yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage you all to do one of these 3 things. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If by chance you've subscribed in the past, you forgot to do so at the time, or you just subscribed and you've not had a chance to do so, I just want to encourage y'all, please subscribe to the channel. It definitely helps me out, and I'm thankful for every single subscriber that I can get my hands on. But I also want to encourage y'all, after you subscribe, make sure you turn on that bell notification icon as well, so that way you guys can come back as soon as I push something out. Again, subscription numbers are always going up, but we want to turn on that bell notification icon. I also want to encourage y'all to help in that endeavor by sharing this content with your Lions friends and family members. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it anywhere and everywhere you can with everybody and anybody that you can. Again, the more people that we share it to, the more likely they're coming in, the more likely we're able to grow the channel. And with that being said, folks, I want to again say thank you all for watching my content. Thank you all for everything that you do. It absolutely means the world to me. And if I just gained you a subscriber, thank you all for your subscription. Thank you all for placing your trust in me. And if I still haven't gained your subscription, hopefully you'll come back and I'll get you on another try. But until that next time, I just want to say again, thank you all for everything that you do. God bless. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.